enti wakaya enche bia ana mbrem vida na metiri mo say His Excellency the President John Dramani Mahama wakopie mo Burkina Faso ekohia Captain Ibrahim Traoré mema wota say eye for peace agreement bi say bia Ghana ne Burkina Faso your friendship ne betimi a tighten up. But bibi koso ewo hono there was another conversation course wo hono I know the media no ankan wasem na afei ana mensa aka video ebusia mehu video nko amemiyam ahyeme said the entire Ghana ye light in 70 million yasu nyina no Ghana ye biggest and multi-purpose terminal hydrocarbon depots ewo Tema ya ton ama Burkina Faso fo aha ye panya block media mesro say any day mo over like video no that room over subscribe button and click the notification icon for latest updates. Dramani Mahama akopie mu ewo Burkina Faso ekohia Captain Ibrahim Traoré na one okoda na say join Mahama's investiture on 7th January 2025 Ibrahim Traoré ebe time Mahama echi enti okoy eho ema onso ekoda na so di kai anana ne next agenda over there and say Ghana ni Burkina Faso yen kita ho yen fresh no or the shemo kena.
Those were the key things. We're also looking at a possible direct flight from Accra to Ouagadougou at least once a day. There's an airline in Ghana that wants to start that flight. We've discussed the issue of AES and ECOWAS, and I've got new perspectives about the concerns that the three countries have in respect of their relations with ECOWAS.
But Ebutane kenim say eno no ejire di nenken say nka nema we mienu we enti na His Excellency okopie mu e Burkina Faso. But said there was another deal. There was another deal that there and pop up on the internet, and I am so surprised. I didn't know anything pop up on the internet. Allegedly, Ebrekona Mahama Eko Hodmona or committee Captain Ibrahim Traoré for Thanksgiving return. Any friendship agreement Say that time na or sa deal say Ghana ye $70 million multi-purpose terminal hydrocarbon depot. And then support ye nyina monsense me kana me kire ye electricity, ye energy. Then I support Ghana hanom no. Sana Mahama ene Ibrahim Traoré go terms et opese or ton that factory no. Edma Burkina Faso for as a siam no kase ye. Deal no asili. Deal no after 25th March year 2025 year. Ghana ye multi-purpose terminal hydrocarbon depot what Tema Mahama aton ama Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso allegedly.
It was a bold move, one that signaled more than just an economic transaction. On March 5th, 2025, Burkina Faso, a landlocked West African country, formally announced its acquisition of the Tema multi-purpose terminal hydrocarbon depot in Ghana. The $70 million purchase wasn't just a headline. It was the culmination of a strategic vision years in the making. A vision that sought to free the country from its long-standing energy vulnerability and place it on a trajectory toward greater economic independence. But to understand why this moment was so significant, we need to trace the journey, a story filled with ambition, geopolitics, survival, and determination. Burkina Faso's reliance on hydrocarbons has always been precarious. With no coastline of its own, the country has depended on access to foreign ports, mainly in Ghana, Togo, and Côte d'Ivoire, to bring in essential petroleum products. These fuels are vital, not just for transportation, but for industrial operations, agriculture, and powering homes and businesses. According to the African Development Bank, biomass still accounts for an overwhelming 86% of the nation's energy consumption, primarily through wood and charcoal. But that reliance has come at a cost, making the country vulnerable to price fluctuations, regional instabilities. Supply chains could trigger fuel shortages back home, raising prices and stifling economic activity. In a region already dealing with security threats, political transitions, and underdeveloped infrastructure, this was a risk Burkina Faso could no longer afford to take. Then came a turning point. Following a coup in 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traoré rose to power, ushering in a government determined to change the country's trajectory. Traoré emphasized national sovereignty, infrastructure development, and self-reliance. That agenda, though ambitious, quickly translated into tangible action. One of the boldest examples came in January 2025, when the country inaugurated a massive 104,000 cubic meter storage depot in Penny, located in western Burkina Faso. That facility alone cost 32 billion FCF, about $53 million, and it was just the beginning. But while domestic infrastructure was important, the country's leadership recognized that true energy security required something more. They needed a foothold outside their borders, a strategic outpost. That's when the Tema multi-purpose terminal entered the picture. Located in Ghana's bustling industrial hub of Tema, the TMPT is a fully operational hydrocarbon depot. Previously owned by Blue Ocean Investment Limited, a leading player in petroleum distribution across West Africa, the terminal lies just 600 kilometers from Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou. It's close enough for logistical convenience, but more importantly, it sits on the Atlantic coast, giving Burkina Faso direct access to the global petroleum trade. This was not just any terminal. The TMPT has the infrastructure to receive ocean tankers, store large volumes of gasoline and diesel, and distribute them through a well-established trucking network. Sonabi already used the facility in the past, which meant the company was familiar with its operations. But renting was no longer good enough. Ownership became the goal. After months of behind-the-scenes negotiations, on March 5th, 2025, the deal was made official. The $70 million acquisition was announced during a Council of Ministers meeting in Ouagadougou, chaired by none other than Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The deal was widely covered by local and international media, including APA News, Africa News Agency, and Burkina Faso's state-owned Sidwaya. In their announcement, the Burkinabe government didn't mince words. It is imperative to have at least one depot outside Burkina Faso to ensure energy security, they declared. With the TMPT now under Sonabi's control, the nation had a critical node in the regional petroleum supply chain, one that they could manage on their own terms, without third-party interference. The implications of this acquisition are profound. First, it strengthens energy security in a tangible way. In a region where fuel supply chains can be fragile, having direct control over a coastal depot provides a buffer against market volatility and logistical disruptions. It means fewer delays, more predictability, and
I do to the extent say yeah government property and then it's not government property like and the Oman funds are. You see Mahama Shah said the Tema port near hydrocarbon depot Tema I want them to why they this year in I and Dumsor the prepare and the any agency Dumsor the bed you bet them because first of all you pay any idea because if say impact at least Kasan Yoma Wing NCC and the end to it because say yepe and the answer ye in terms of one year penny idea, big job comment or comment session. Observe Tvghana account.